What is going on, mates of YouTube? My name is Marcel, and in today's video we're going to be looking at one of the OG men's fragrances, one of the greatest men's scents of all time, in fact, and that is YSL's Kouros. Moreover, I'm actually going to be comparing and contrasting it with another slightly less well-known but equally classic fragrance in my eyes, and that is the Kouros clone, the Man Silver by Milton Lloyd. Both of these fragrances are well known when it comes to being good performers that give you great compliments, and I would say being ultra musky, aromatic scents. They're pretty masculine as well. So if you want to see me compare and contrast those, let's get right into the video. First of all, I just want to showcase something really cool that is only going to appeal to a small handful of you, but I actually got The Evil Dead on VHS. Now, I collect VHS tapes because that is the format that I actually grew up with, VHS. I'm a little older than people probably realize I am, but that's okay, we can keep it a secret. And it actually means a lot now that I have 2 of the 3 Evil Dead movies on VHS. And if you want to see more horror content, you can go sub to my channel, Aussie Horror. I've linked it below. So I've got Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 1. Now I just need Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 VHS, prohibitively expensive, but we'll get there, lads, we'll get there. YSL's Kouros and the Man Silver by Milton Lloyd. Interesting design, I've always thought. Both of these scents are incredibly masculine, musky. Sometimes online they're known for having, how do I word this, a piss characteristic. They've got that quality of animal piss to them, a barnyard smell even, and I've just taken the Kouros out of the box and it's quite pungent, very masculine. I've never smelled a fragrance that smells at once so clean and so dirty at the same time. Tester strip here, get it on my fingers. Love it. Now, my father used to tell me that Kouros was especially popular here in Australia in the early 90s. Musky, honey sweet with some florals. And then it's got like this in the background and it lingers. It's got this deeply animalic note that's kind of leathery, kind of barnyardy. My experiences with this have been incredible. It's gotten me some of the best compliments I've ever received for a fragrance. I think that with these sorts of animalic, musky scents, some people are just utterly averse to them because I can remember someone telling me, I don't know if I love or hate what you're wearing, but I can't stop smelling it. The highlight of these modern Kouros fragrances, at least in my experience, is that the performance is still incredible. You get 9 hours plus with a single spray. It's definitely something I go easy on if I'm gonna go wear it out in public. But it's something you can also dress up quite a lot as well. Like if you want to wear a blazer and like a nice pair of slacks or something like that, this fragrance will actually serve you incredibly well in those situations. I would probably more recommend them for a more mild evening rather than a hot, stinking hot summer's day, because musky honey sweetness here, it can definitely become quite pungent in the wrong circumstances, especially if you're somebody that has, you know, prominent body odor anyway. This will just exacerbate that like crazy. The fragrance itself gets a lot of love online, particularly by older gentlemen, and I can totally see why. It's an incredible smelling fragrance, but it's also unique in that it straddles that line between clean and dirty. That is an inherently masculine sort of quality. You can typically find Kouros here in Australia. I know Priceline have had bottles, I've seen them for like $70 on sale. Sometimes if you go to David Jones or Myer, you'll see it quite a bit more expensive than that. Go to Chemist Warehouse, go to Priceline, even check out eBay. Make sure your bottles are real though and not some knockoff reproduction. And you can generally tell the second you smell it. Now, as for the Man Silver by Milton Lloyd, it does not present nearly as classy. It's got a very plain sort of bottle, nothing fantastic. And on the back of the package, it does tell you the accords. It's an aromatic fusilier, aromatic, green, honey, floral, vanilla, musk. In my experience, the Man Silver has a more vintage Kouros quality to it. It's not as refined. It's a little dirtier. It's not quite as clean as Kouros is. So if your favorite aspects, damn, it is a potent atomizer. If your favorite parts of Kouros are the more clean aspects of it, do be wary if you're going to wear this one because it does present dirtier. Yeah, and you get that straight away. Huge dose of musk. Not quite as honey sweet. The florals are ramped up. You almost get a rose or a peony kind of quality to this one. It's aromatic. The barnyard elements of this one. So this is Kouros. This is the Man Silver. Man Silver. Kouros. Kouros is significantly more refined, but not quite as dirty. So if you're in the market for something that's a little more leathery, a little more musky, and has that dirty aspect elevated, then you're going to want to go and find a bottle of this. I found 2 bottles. There was like an eBay seller that was having a deal and you could buy 2 bottles for $40 Australian, or you could buy 1 bottle alone for $50. I was like, of course I'm going to buy 2 for a cheaper price than 1. What kind of idiot would not do that? So the way I like to explain it is that if you've always wanted to experience a more intense version of Kouros, like let's just say YSL did Kouros Intense or something like that, or an eau de parfum version of it, this is what it would smell like. Is less refined. Imagine the Man Silver as Kouros's rambunctious little brother. It gets in your face, it's a little more aggressive, but it still has a lot of the same traits as its older brother. I would probably go whatever fragrance you can get cheaper because they're so similar to one another. As the fragrances dry down, the Man Silver's muskiness just makes itself more and more apparent. It dominates pretty much every other facet of the scent. Initially, you get that aromatic, floral quality, but as it dries, it just becomes an absolute overwhelming amount of musk. Whereas with Kouros, that honey sweetness never really dissipates, and it provides a great counterpoint to the florals and the muskiness. Honestly, it comes down to preference really. Do you want to dress up the fragrance a little bit? Go Kouros. Whereas if you want to just be down and dirty with things, go the Man Silver. Anyways, if you've ever worn either fragrance and you want to share your opinion of them, let me know in the comments below. And until the next video, my name is Marcel and I'll catch you guys around.